What's going on, everybody? David Adam Kurz here with a very special podcast. Now, typically, you guys see me speak to one person at a time. We like to do something we call the Freedom Achiever podcast. This is sort of a special edition. I don't even know that it's going to make it to the podcast world, but we will launch it on both podcast platforms, so you'll be able to find it there. But primarily, welcome to YouTube. Welcome to watching our video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with some special friends. I have Jeannette with us. Many of you have seen her on some of our previous videos, as Jeannette and I are partners at LPT, and you know, we both have our own growth and our own teams and our own direction, but we consistently build together, which is an amazing thing. And now we're taking that from the East Coast to the West Coast. And so I want to introduce first Travis and his son Sebastian, who are joining LPT Realty, but not only joining LPT Realty, they are also launching Southern California. I'm just going to say California, but they're from Southern California. They hail from the San Diego area. So those of you that need referral partners in San Diego, hello. And more than that, you heard that, right? More than that.
More than that.
And more than that, they're bringing the More organization to life. And we're going to talk more about what that means. It's be a very exciting time for us. So thanks for doing this with me.
Brother, listen, so again, Travis Winfield, I am a 24-year Navy vet. This is my son, Sebastian, who is actually my business partner. And it has been a blessing to be able to grow this. And so I had this brainchild. So More, very simply, military-operated real estate. And the tagline is, expect more from your realtor.
That's awesome. Now, look, I'm going to ask you some very basic questions because I believe sometimes we know things, but not everybody knows it, right? And we assume that everybody gets it. But why is this so important to you?
That's a great question, David. Look, so I think we can all agree that when you served in the military, there's certain companies and organizations that we just gravitate to, right? Like 92% of our veterans and veteran families are part of Navy Federal and USA or both, right? Like them or not, that is just a true fact. But one thing we don't have is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in your life is buying or selling real estate. But yet there is not a national brand that a veteran or an active duty military member can turn to when they're PCSing from one location to another, where they can trust that the person that they are working with has this relative same level of service and expertise from going from one location to the other. And we're here to fill that gap.
So it's interesting that you bring up Navy Federal USAA because as a veteran, we oftentimes blindly accept their role.
We do.
And we're just like, oh, you're for us only? Okay, cool. Most veterans don't check the interest rate, even though it is better for us. Like, we don't check anything. We just go, oh,
press the I believe button.
You're on base.
Yeah.
Right? Like, here's my account.
Yeah.
You know? And it just makes life easier for the veteran. And so what we're talking about is making life easier for the veteran consumer.
And take it one step further, because the fact is, you know, USA and Navy Federal, they're not all run by veterans, are they? You call them up, but what they do, they go, hey, Senior Chief Winfield, they speak our language. They get trained to do that. I'm looking to take it one step further. Notice in the name, military operated real estate. Doesn't say military exclusive real estate, military operated, meaning that if you want to carry our brand, the very first qualification, you don't know what it's like to serve unless you've served. So I want our real estate professionals to have that experience that they can relate to their clients and not just, oh, you're PCSing. What does that mean? You know, what is it like to live without your family when your husband's deployed? What's it like to transfer as a military spouse, to transfer from one duty station to the other while your husband's deployed or your spouse is deployed? We want all of our agents, every single one of them, no exceptions, to be able to relate to the experiences, the lifestyle of the military life. And that's it.
All right, so let me bring this to life because we're in a special place right now. We're doing something very special. And what we're doing is, or what you are doing with More is, you're giving veterans an opportunity to get a higher level of education by becoming a part of the More organization and giving them an opportunity to serve the community better.
Correct.
Which in turn helps the consumer know for a fact that the person that is guiding them, helping them, and walking them through the largest purchase they will more than likely ever do in their lives, for the largest asset they will ever own, for the one piece that will help determine their personal wealth, right?
Yep.
Knows the struggle.
Correct. And we're not stopping there, right? Because how many companies you see out there, they just slap a brand on there and expect everybody just to follow. Well, we didn't just stop there. We've gone through very painstaking efforts to create a training platform that not only is going to train our agents that are representing our most valuable asset, and that is our veteran clients, the proper way and all the education that goes with it, but we're also, I've actually the only company in the country that has been approved with the Department of Veterans Affairs to access your benefits to do just that. So for example, you want to go through my training program and you have never used your GI Bill, you could actually use your GI Bill, go through our training program, get high quality training at the top of the level, know that you're going to get the same training across the country, but now get a housing allowance while learning our program, so it'll offset the costs and expenses for you trying to learn that profession and learn our systems and processes. I truly believe it's going to be a true game changer in our industry.
I think it is too. Now, this is not just for the new agent transition.
No, this is for all agents because we have specialized training, right?
But like specifically, all agents that are veterans or military spouses that have lived a life. Let's dig into that real quick, right? Because there is a difference between the military spouse that didn't live the life.
Correct.
And the military spouse that did. And I can give you the perfect example. My wife is a lender. My wife didn't live the military life, but she is a military spouse because, hello, I'm a veteran.
Correct.
Right? But she never lived that life. And I can tell you just from experience with her, she has a passion for veterans. And her passion comes from being married to me and with me for a decade, right? And it comes from her attending Marine Corps birthday parties and, you know, and meeting other veterans and hanging around me and Jeanette's husband and like, you know, and hearing and listening and going to VA appointments with me and knowing that struggle. That has built the passion for her, but she doesn't know because she wasn't there.
Right.
And so there are times where she was doing a loan for a veteran and they would send all their veteran paperwork or their military paperwork, you know, and she would look at me, she'd go, read this to me.
Right. What is a DD-214?
Yeah, read this to me, please, you know? And we get it. She wasn't there. She didn't know.
And we use acronyms, right? We use acronyms for it's almost like a foreign language to people who don't understand it, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's why I'm being so strict with this. I want this to be a truly protected brand. And, you know, so as much as I value that, and maybe there'll be something down the road, we will see where that comes. But for now, I want this to be an exclusive club. For example, if you didn't serve in the Marine Corps, can you call yourself a veteran?
No.
Why? Because that's it
would be fraud.
It would be fraud, right?
You up.
And I don't, exactly. That's like me trying to call myself a Marine, right? It is earned. And so I want our agents to have that earned. I want this to be a members only club.
There's a title for that, right? Stolen valor.
It is.
You know? And we see it all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, you get people that get caught all the time.
And I want to put...
So equally, you know, and guys, no disrespect to you if you didn't serve, but you do have a passion for helping those who did serve. But I'm with you. I believe that there is a different path and a different method for those who did serve.
Absolutely.
To help those who are serving.
And they can. It's just that I want our brand to be kind of like a badge of honor. And to give due respect, let's use Jeannette for a second. She's a military spouse that has lived the military life. Her children are serving right now. She's a great example of we could talk all the day long about us, you know, sacrificing, going overseas, fighting the wars, but do not discount the sacrifice that our families have to do.
We used to say in the Marine Corps, the toughest job in the Marine Corps was Marine wife.
Absolutely.
Marine spouse.
And my son, I did 24 years in the Navy. I mean, fortunately, we have a great relationship now, but I missed a lot of his upbringing.
Yeah.
So
he had to sacrifice.
So he sacrificed his father, and so therefore, damn right, he earns that badge.
So, all right, pass Sebastian Mike, because I want to ask you, like, specifically, you didn't serve, but you did live the life.
Yep.
You're your dad's partner now. All of this coming to fruition and becoming what it is, what does it mean to you?
I mean, it means everything to me. I mean, like he just talked about, for the first 16 years of my life, he was gone a lot of the time, you know? And now that we get to work together and I get to be his business partner, like I'm getting tingly right now just talking about it. It means everything to me. And to be able to, give back now and create a company that is going to serve those who have served is the most important thing in the world for me, and I'm really excited to be working alongside people like you, David. Hopefully Jeannette will be able to make something work here too. And everyone else that I know we're going to come in contact with and that we're going to be working closely with, and really create, like we always use this analogy, we want to create the SEAL team of realtors across the country to serve those who have served. So.
You're emotional. Why?
Well, I think he is too. It goes just exactly to that. You asked me my why. They're my why. And so if I can now translate that to others and give that same opportunity to others to build something. Now, great, it's not for everybody. Not everybody's getting into real estate, but if I can influence the people who want to be part of this industry, but then in turn, we can now influence every single military family out there through this. Because can we be honest? How many veterans have we seen in our industry, excuse my French, get fucked over by agents who don't have an understanding of what all the benefits are with the military? Because there are many of them that are out there.
For how long did we see VA offers
getting shit on,
rejected because people said, no, that person, they're not even putting money down. This is not a good deal. Which, if we can pause for a second and give you a moment of education, it is the absolute best loan in the market.
Absolutely.
Period in the story.
And I will say this, and I'll say this to anybody's face. If you are a veteran and you have an agent or a loan officer who tries to talk you out of your benefits, run.
Yeah.
Freaking run, because they do not have your best interest at heart. They just don't understand it, and therefore they don't want to be a part of it.
So we have this unique opportunity now. First of all, I'm excited that you guys are launching California with LPT. That's a great opportunity. I think thousands of people are going to follow you down this path. LPT being the fastest growing real estate brokerage in history. And then you putting this space together, now just to give you guys a heads up, we're secretly recording this 6 months before you watch it, right? And so earlier today, and if you could pass Jeannette the mic, earlier today, we invited Jeannette over. So Jeannette and I have been very, very close for 17 years now, like one of my best friends. And to know that we're in the same industry is very exciting, And so we're both with LPT, and we've both been growing our businesses. And I said to Jeannie, I said, hey man, I'm coming over with some friends from California. We're here in my house. And I said, I want you to come over and hear this. And because it would solidify the value that's being brought to the table. What are your thoughts on the entire platform program?
Yeah, that's a great point.
You're the first person to hear this.
Honestly,
And without signing an NDA.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for that. Honestly, it's about loyalty, right? And so regardless of the NDA not being signed, I'm committed to keep this and to ensure that it grows into what it needs to be. I was shocked and awe, to be honest with you. I'm anything veteran related, given that my husband served, my kids are serving. I'm very passionate about it. And for me, my brain is moving in so many different directions of what kind of exposure we can give to this, bringing this awareness to our veterans. I could just think of the young military as well that don't really know what they're doing. Sometimes they serve, they have no direction, no guidance. And you guys are putting this together to help groom, these young military, but as well as people who already served and right. They're out and they have no idea of maybe a way of providing for their families, and for you guys to be helping grow and educate people and educating the consumers out there as well, I think is very inspirational. And so
I don't know what your experience was when Will left the military. My experience was, thanks for coming.
Yes.
That was it. I didn't even know what a VA loan was until I became a realtor.
We were a medical, discharge. I have a 3-year-old son, and My husband actually was in the middle of a 24-hour post, duty. And the person that he reported to said, Echevarria. They were like, your name sounds so familiar. And he goes, give me a second. He went in there, he saw his orders. And he said, you got orders to leave. He had not been presented this. Like, he had no idea. That was a blessing, because it was giving us a little heads up of, oh my God, our whole life is going to turn upside down. We were 22 years old, 3-year-old son, no, degree, any kind of education. I was working in the evenings while he took care of the kid, and so that allowed me to kind of head back home, stay with our families until I can find a job. And then he transitioned in a month later. And so, yes, we were in the dark, uneducated. I think it takes, our drive really is about getting stuff done. We'll figure it out. And that's kind of what drove us.
Your life had been different if more was present.
Oh, absolutely. I would have been 20 plus years in the real estate world right now. and impacting so many people, honestly. So thank you.
That would have impacted your family differently.
In so many ways. I mean, just being in real estate has impacted my family already. And I've shared that with David.
I think a lot about that.
This is on another level.
Yeah, I think a lot about that. I think about the transitioning military member coming to your MORE program and having an opportunity. So let's talk about that now, the MORE Academy. Talk to me more about the MORE Academy.
All right, so the MORE Academy, for those who are interested in getting into the real estate profession, for the record, I try to talk people out of it. It has one of the highest failure rates of almost any profession out there. We have an 83% failure rate in the first 5 years. Why am I telling everybody this? Because I want to scare you away so you know this is not an easy profession. Yeah. Okay? You need to really want to do this. This is almost like being in the military, if you think about it. How many days off do you get a week?
See, I find I'm glad you said that, but here's what I think. I think 18 months from the moment folks are watching this video for the first time and it's first day of launch, we're going to have statistics that prove that the failure rate is significantly less.
I agree with you.
And I think there has to be a failure rate because there's going to be dropouts.
Of course.
There's going to be people's lives change. There's going to be things that happen in people's lives that push them in a different direction.
Right.
But I believe that there is going to be at least a more than 80% growth rate.
This is the whole reason behind this.
So tell us about the Academy.
So the Academy is developed so that once you have your license or getting your or once you either newly get your license or if you already are an existing agent, the MORE Academy is designed to really dive deep and focus on all things, not only just all the fundamentals of being a successful realtor, right? Because every real estate agent, I use this analogy a lot. If you're a doctor, can you prescribe medication? Can you still do all the basic stuff that every doctor does? Now, great. Now, if you have a heart attack and need a heart surgery, are you going to hire a dermatologist to that?
No, unless she's my daughter.
Right. But you see the moral of that story, right?
I'm kidding, yeah.
I want this academy to not only teach you the fundamentals of being a phenomenal real estate professional, but now let's dive deeper and let's focus on all the benefits that goes with focusing on serving our veterans. So we are going to be the specialists of real estate agents.
The snipers.
The snipers. As I like to say, I don't want everybody. I want to build the SEAL team or special forces of real estate agents all over the country. And I think that's what it's going to do. So we have an 18-month academy from the time you join where you can now access, you can either have your benefits and access or you don't have to. You can still go to the academy. And at the end of it, you are now going to be able to truly say that you have all the ammunition and weaponry to go out there and take care of our veteran clients the best way you can possibly
Now,
do.
benefits while you're in the academy is obviously the education.
Correct.
Benefits from graduating from the academy and saying, I am now certified.
Correct.
In the academy is the potential for a referral-based business within MORE.
Absolutely. So we want all of us to keep it in the family, right? We absolutely do. So if you, for example, have people PCSing or transferring to California, we want to keep it in the family.
More licensed professional.
Exactly.
Right, that went through the same training as you.
Yep. That way you know that client. That way you know that client that person that you probably helped buy a home here in Miami, they're PCSing, moving over to Southern California, whatever it may be, you know that they're going to be taken care of, right? Because you can trust that agent over there in San Diego has gone through the academy. They know what they're doing. They have all, like you said, the ammunition and everything at their disposal to be able to take great care of that veteran and that client. Yeah. So,
yeah. And I'll even go one step further. We also want to build up from the ground roots. That means that for transitioning veterans who find an interest in real estate, we are actually now SkillBridge approved. So if people who don't know what SkillBridge is, that actually allows a transitioning veteran for the last 3 to 6 months while they're on active duty to actually go TAD from their command to work for us as a paid intern. I mean, the government's paying them because they're still getting paid, but instead of going to work for the military, they're coming to work for us, learning the basics of the profession while getting their real estate license, and then upon completion of their getting their license, then they could roll straight into the academy. So we actually even have a pre-licensing program that people are going to be able to tap into and set them up for success right out the box. Because unfortunately, just like we've all had experience with anything, the existing agents want to come in because I got to break them down a little bit from what maybe some of the bad habits they had from before and rebuild them. With these guys that are coming in, they're not going to have bad habits. So we're going to be able to tap in and train them the correct way right out the box.
That's a big deal. Because again, now you know that your referring partner is somebody who went through the same training you went through, and it's somebody you feel like you can trust.
Correct.
And so there's this centrifugal force that says, somebody raises their hand and says, hey, Moore organization, we've got a lead we need to transfer from San Diego to Northern Virginia. And now the Moore organization says, great, we've got someone certified in Northern Virginia. And they connect them, and now that lead or that referral goes through the system. But there are also leads that now you can tap into.
Absolutely. And that's just taking care of our veterans, right? That's that way, because look, here's the facts. 99% of consumers out there, when they hire a real estate agent, they could give a rat's ass who the brokerage is. That's just the reality. The brokerage is more for the real estate agent to give them the support and process to build their business and do that. More, however, is going to be a client-facing brand. This is going to be something that the consumer is going to say, like they would with Navy Federal or USA. They're just going to go, I want a Moore agent. I don't care who it is. I want a Moore agent. That's my vision and goal at the end of the day.
And I think that's 100% possible.
Agreed.
With the focus that you've built in building these agents in-house.
Yep. Exactly.
That's a huge benefit.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, as you're watching this, again, we're 6 months out from you even seeing this, and there are already big names in multiple states ready to make the move and become part of what the Moore organization is building and putting together.
Yep.
Now, you have affiliates that are going to be feeding leads to the agents as well. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself because it's still in development, but let's just say that there is a very recognizable partnership that we are finalizing, that if everything goes as planned, our real estate professionals will be, they've even recognized the value of our training program, and they will potentially want everybody who is getting basically business from this, lending company to actually go through our program, so that it also raises the quality of agents that they're sending their business to. There, in turn, will increase their credibility amongst the consumer.
So think about that, like a major lead access lender that has a ton of leads. They're saying, hey, I love this program so much that from now on, we'll only give leads to people who have gone through the program, because we know that they are capable of taking care of these leads that have trusted us with putting somebody in front of them.
Well, it's all about quality, and it's all about look, I have a simple motto. I have a mission, vision, and guiding principles of Moore. And one of my favorite things that I came up with that I coined years ago is, if you chase the money, you're never going to catch it. But if you're just truly right about taking care of the people that you're serving, the money will follow.
Yeah.
And I never want people to be part of this. If I find if anybody in our organization is going to put money over the client, you're gone. You're gone. Yeah. Our culture has to be client first, and money will follow.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So based on what you're hearing, like, how do you think this helps you with attracting agents to want to work more with you? Party.
I mean, for personal value, I think it's going to add a lot more value to myself. I mean, there's things that even though I am a military spouse and a mom, there's things that I still don't know. There are processes, and there's, I found out a few weeks ago, regarding there's waivers and things that I could obtain for my veterans to get homes. And these are things that I'm not exposed to, maybe the market that I was in, but I didn't know. And so those are things that I'm sure that you guys are equipped to share with all of our agents, as far as me attraction for my team, to grow my team nationally, internationally. That's the next one, right? Internationally. I think it adds a huge value. I mean, for me to provide even more value for my value proposition for my team, it's exactly more and more.
This works really well.
I think brilliant.
I think it's you said a brilliant opportunity.
Yeah.
For us to be able to, attract more military-minded people to work with.
I think it's needed.
And say to them, by the way, if you choose to do this with me, we've got this great opportunity that you can jump into.
There's a huge demand.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived for about 15, 16 years in Virginia. Near Quantico. I was near 5 different military bases. And so that was my life for that long, my kids and everyone, but I came to Miami and that's not the case. I mean, you can ask David, how many times did he say, welcome to Miami? And I was just like, I refuse to accept this. But it's just a different country. The market is not educated on the veterans and military families. And so
we just don't have any major bases here. We used to, but there's
so many
reserve base in 1992.
Yeah, and there's so many members here that why not? Like our agents that are not educated and have the experience and could be meet the requirements to being in this program. They are just not developing the education piece.
So let me just say this though. I'm a big statistic guy. I pay really close attention to the market. You're absolutely right. There may not be a base here. But do you know there's 16.1 million veterans? That's not including their families, by the way. 16.1 million veterans that are in our country right now. Less than 13% of them have ever accessed their God-earned benefits, i.e. using the VA home loan, or how many other benefits there are with regards to even disability ratings. I can tell you probably 90% of the veterans that served in Vietnam have never had a different mindset about the military and have refused to go out and apply for their well-deserved disability benefits. So I go door to door educating them on that. And that's what I want to make sure that we're also educating all of our realtors to not just be realtors, be a resource manager for our veterans to be able to go to, for example, in California. Little do you know, for example, my daughter, what prompted, just so you have a little history lesson on how this all came about, is that my daughter I'm 100% permanent total disabled, right? I have a little few, visible injuries going on. But my daughter wanted to potentially get into real estate. So the idea of all this, how the academy started was, I said, oh, well, she can access the DEA, Dependents Education Assistance Program. Did you know that if you're 100% disabled, your dependents could get a stipend while learning a new profession? So I literally just went to go try to get my team approved for that, just for my daughter to get an extra stipend. And that this opened so many more pathways that has exploded into being able to launch a national apprenticeship program.
Wow.
So now listen, guys, this is a national program. If you're a real estate agent that happens to be a veteran or a military spouse or dependent, this is something you want to hear more about.
Correct.
And what a tremendous opportunity is being given not only to the veterans and the real estate agents, but a tremendous opportunity to the consumer, to the veteran buyer, to the veteran seller, to the active duty buyer seller, the active duty renter, because they're PCSing, so they're just renting wherever they stop, There's opportunity for education. There's opportunity for the more organization, real estate professionals to be the conduit to the education of the consumer.
Yes.
To help the consumer with their benefits, to help the consumer understand the benefits of having benefits, right? Like in the state of Florida, if you're 10% disabled, you get a discount on your property taxes.
That's right.
If you're 100% disabled, you don't have property tax.
I wish we had that in California.
Yeah. And
I've actually been flying up to Sacramento and using Florida as an example to try to get that same approval in California.
well,
They-
Texas
they-
has
they're
a
right.
great one too. Texas does 10%, 30%, 50%, and then 100%. They give you certain levels of discounts
I
on your
know.
property taxes.
Yeah.
Like that's,
These are the things we
why are
specialize
people
in.
not taking advantage of that? And the reason they're not taking advantage of it is because they simply don't know how.
Well, I tell people all the time, there's so many benefits for our veterans, but they don't have a marketing budget to tell you they exist. So my goal with More, I want to be that education platform, not just in real estate, but also educate them on all benefits that applies to them. So that will be that is a core fundamental for all of our agents to just be smart on all benefits that are out there.
You have to help the consumer.
Absolutely.
It's our job.
And it can't be just minded to what's in it for the agent so they can get a commission. They need to offer more than that. And they want to be, and they should be able to offer more than just being a realtor. And that's what my goal is.
Well, before we finish this podcast, is there anything you guys want to share with everybody?
Yeah. So first I want to say this, David, I want to say, well, first off, Jeannette, I want to say thank you because I've known you for a total of about an hour and a half, and right out the box, you get it. And I just want to say thank you for acknowledging what we're doing and being so quick to jump on board. And I appreciate that because that means a lot to me. David, we've known each other and spilled blood in the same mud for, going on 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
Operating different space. But you are the one that turned me on, and I reached out to you, and you, with open arms, guided me through this process to find LPT, to find you, and now I consider you a partnership in all of this, and I can't wait for the future. So that being said, as an old military tradition, this is a challenge coin, my own personal challenge coin, that represents my past in the military, and that is yours. And what this does, if in the middle of it, that is actually it represents my past in the military as a senior chief in law enforcement. In the back, this is my real estate brand, the Winfield Group. And unfortunately, my old company is represented in there, but
That's all right.
but it is literally my last. These are my last coins that I have in my we rebuild the new coins with more. So I just want to say thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
And that's a little
You guys
golf.
can see. Check that out.
Yeah.
Check that out.
So that's my small token of appreciation
All right.
for you guys.
Everybody better have their challenge coins at the bar later on today.
Oh, make sure you. I need to go get back and get mine. I think I just gave you my last two. So thanks
This
a lot,
is
guys.
great, man. This is, by the way, for those of you that are not military watching this and interested, challenge coins are given out of respect. And so when you check into a new duty station, and sometimes you do something great, and the commander of that duty station will give you a challenge coin. And the coin is the coin itself is not meant to be a challenge coin. It's more meant to be a representation of your good duty on this particular station.
That's it.
And what we've been able to do as military members is turn it into a challenge coin. And so if you're at the bar and everybody throws their challenge coin on the bar and you don't have yours, drinks on you.
That's it.
And if you're not at the bar, it turned into push-ups. So,
That's it. That's it, man.
this is excellent, man. Thank you for this. I appreciate it very much.
You got
This
it.
is huge.
You got it. So.
I'm excited for the growth of More. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited that you chose to do it with us. I'm excited for your entry into the market, and I'm excited for what this is going to do for consumers.
Agreed.
And so thanks for doing it with us.
As my going coin is, let's grow.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's grow.
Let's go.
All right. So awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is an amazing opportunity. If you're a veteran, a military spouse that has experienced living the military life, or a veteran dependent, child or parent that experienced that life,
the military life. Yes.
that have lived the military life, we want to hear from you. So in this video, there's going to be a link below where you'll be able to register and provide us with some basic information so that our team can reach out to you and see how you can become a part of the More organization. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. See y'all.